Who is Gandalf, you might say? In Middle-earth, there are kings and warriors, elves and hobbits, but among them stands a figure apart, a wandering wizard cloaked in grey, with eyes that see beyond the veil of time. He is Gandalf, Mithrandir, the Grey Pilgrim. But who was he truly? A wise old wanderer, a mighty warrior, or something far older and far greater? Before he was Gandalf, he was Olórin, a Maya spirit in the blessed realm of Valinor. He dwelt with the Vala Nienna, learning pity, wisdom, and patience. When the Vala sent emissaries, known as the Istari, or wizards, into Middle-earth to aid elves and men against the growing shadow of Sauron, Olórin was chosen. Though he feared the task, he went humbly, cloaked in the form of an old man. Gandalf did not come with armies, nor with force. He came as a wanderer, walking the roads of Middle-earth, befriending men, elves, and most dearly, hobbits. Known as Mithrandir, the Grey Pilgrim, he brought counsel, sparks of courage, and sometimes fireworks to light the hearts of the simple folk. Yet behind his kindly eyes burned a greater purpose, to stir resistance against the shadow rising once more in Mordor. In the year 2941 of the Third Age, Gandalf set in motion a quest that would change the world. He brought together Bilbo Baggins, a reluctant hobbit, and Thorin Oakenshield's company of dwarves on their journey to reclaim Erebor from the dragon Smaug. Though he did not see the quest through to its end, Gandalf's purpose was clear. Smaug could not be left to ally with Sauron. Even then, Gandalf moved unseen against the darkness, helping to drive the necromancer from Dol Guldur. Years later, Gandalf uncovered the truth of Bilbo's ring. It was no trinket, but the one ring of Sauron. With Frodo Baggins, he began a desperate journey, guiding the hobbit from the Shire to Rivendell. There, at the Council of Elrond, he helped form the Fellowship of the Ring, a band of 9 walkers set against Sauron's 9 riders. Through mountain and forest he guided them with wisdom and courage. Yet his path would soon lead to his greatest trial, in the dark halls of Moria, beneath the roots of the misty mountains. Gandalf confronted a terror from the ancient world, a Balrog of Morgoth. On the bridge of Khazad-dûm, he stood alone against the fiery shadow. "You shall not pass." With staff and sword, he cast the demon into the abyss, but was himself dragged into the depths. For the Fellowship, it was the loss of their guide. For Gandalf, it was the end of one life and the beginning of another. Beyond death, Gandalf was sent back. He returned, not as Gandalf the Grey, but as Gandalf the White. Clothed in greater authority, his mission renewed. He became the leader of the Istari, surpassing Saruman, who had betrayed his order. At Helm's Deep, his arrival at dawn turned the tide of battle. In Minas Tirith, he stood against the Witch King's siege. Ever he was the flame of hope, the enemy of despair. Gandalf's wisdom was as vital as his power. He counselled Aragorn, inspired Theoden, rallied the free peoples, and above all, shielded Frodo's mission. At the Black Gate, he stood with Aragorn against the hosts of Mordor, defying Sauron until the ring was destroyed. When the shadow fell, Gandalf's purpose was fulfilled. His task was never to dominate, but to guide, to kindle light in the hearts of others. After the crowning of Aragorn, Gandalf remained for a time in Middle-earth, but his work was finished. In the year 3021, he sailed into the west aboard the White Ship, leaving the mortal lands forever. From Olórin to Gandalf the Grey, from Wanderer to White Rider, his journey was one of wisdom, sacrifice, and quiet strength. He was never the hero of songs, yet without him, no song would have been sung. Gandalf was more than a wizard. He was a guardian, a guide, a servant of hope. Where kings wielded swords and hobbits carried burdens, Gandalf carried the flame that kept them moving forward. In the end, his greatest power was not fire or lightning, but the courage he inspired in others. That is the true legacy of Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White.